I'm Rob, a tour guide in Washington, D.C., and in this video, I'm going to show you what's in my backpack. Hello and welcome to Trip Hacks DC. It's a beautiful day here on the National Mall. I'm at the Lincoln Memorial waiting for my tour group to arrive, and I thought I would take the opportunity to show you what's in my backpack. This is what I carry around as a tour guide, so it's not necessarily exactly what I think needs to be in every single visitor's bag, but it could give you some good ideas. And I'm curious what you think, so if there's anything you think is missing from my bag, leave a comment and let me know. And with that said, let's get started. Now, the first thing that I think is probably the most important is my water bottle. This water bottle is nothing fancy. It's blue, plastic. I got it as a giveaway at the DC bike ride about 5 years ago. But what I like about it is that it's light, it doesn't take up a lot of space or weight, it doesn't leak, and it's easy to drink from without having to unscrew a cap or fiddle with the handle on top. I have a lot of water bottles, and I have tested many over the years. I have some that keep the water extremely cold for very long periods of time, but they tend to be really heavy. So on a hot summer day, I have to decide, do I want really cold water, or do I want something that's not gonna weigh me down? And this is the one that I usually reach for. The second most important thing in my backpack is this umbrella. Again, there's nothing particularly special about this model. I don't even think it's a name brand. And if you're looking around and thinking, wait a second, what are you doing with an umbrella on a beautiful day? I carry this thing 365 days per year. It doesn't matter what it looks like outside my window when I leave home, because especially in the summer, you never really know when one of those big thunderstorms is gonna pop up out of nowhere. But even the rest of the year, I'd rather have this thing with me and not have to use it than not have it when I need it. The next important thing I keep in here is this sweatshirt. Well, not this one in particular, but the idea that in many months of the year, the key to dressing in Washington, D.C. is layers. So it's a very nice day right now. Sunny, it's probably in the mid-50s, but I'm gonna start my tour, and about halfway into it, the sun's gonna go down and it's going to get chilly. So while this Trip Hacks DC jacket is perfectly fine at 5 o'clock, in a little while, I might wanna add this. The next important thing in my backpack are my sunglasses. Now, I have pretty sensitive eyes, so when it's sunny, even when I have the hat on, if I don't have these sunglasses, I might not be able to see. As far as the actual glasses, I never get anything fancy or brand name. These are the kind of glasses you get at a drugstore like CVS or Walgreens. And the reason for that is because my glasses I seem to always break or somehow lose. And it's much less painful to replace these $20 glasses than a very expensive brand name. So I usually buy a few pairs of these at the beginning of the tour season, and hopefully they last me the whole summer. The next important thing that's in my bag is ibuprofen, or whatever your generic over-the-counter drug of choice is. This stuff has saved me so many times. Again, like with the umbrella, this is in my bag 365 days per year. It's the kind of thing that you prefer not to have to use, but you'd much rather have it when you need it than not. And sure, you could run into a CVS, as they're all over the city, but when you're out here on the National Mall, there is no CVS nearby. So don't let it derail your day when you have to make a special trip because you forgot to bring this. Similarly, I also carry around a small first aid kit. Trip Hacks DC tours are walking tours, so thankfully, you usually don't have to use this. And if I was leading a bike tour or a Segway tour, I'd probably pick a bigger one than this. But for what I do, this one, which has some bandages and alcohol swabs, is perfectly fine. Another thing I keep with me at all times is a battery bank and a USB cable. I actually don't carry a regular charger because when I'm out giving tours and I'm running around the city, I'm not near an outlet for long enough to sit down and charge my devices. The key to a good battery bank is that you want one that can charge your devices at least a couple of times, but that's not so big, bulky, and heavy that it weighs you down. This one here can fully recharge my phone at least twice, and it's not very heavy, so it's the Goldilocks for me. Another thing I keep in here, hand sanitizer. I know everybody had this at the beginning of COVID a couple of years ago, and maybe people don't carry it around as much now. But it's still very handy to have, especially if you're gonna be eating outside at a food truck or just don't have access to a restroom where you can wash your hands. And lastly, I always keep sunscreen on me. trust me that in the summer, if I do not use sunscreen, I will be burnt to a crisp within minutes. Now, I do apply it at home before I leave for the day, but say I'm giving a morning tour that runs from 9 a.m. till noon. If I'm going to be out for several more hours after that, I need to reapply. So I always keep a small bottle with me. So that's a rundown of what's in my backpack. And I'm curious to know what you think. Am I missing anything? Do I need to add to my collection? Leave a comment down there and let me know. Or is there anything that I carry around as a tour guide that you hadn't considered and are going to add to your bag right away? It's almost time to meet my group, so I've got to head over to give my tour. But if you're coming to Washington, D.C. and interested in signing up for one of these tours, you can click or tap on the Capitol Dome on the left side of my head. That'll send you right over to tripxdc.com, where you can see all of the tours that we offer. Enjoy your trip.